Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the finals of the Female Starcraft League Season 2 playoffs. First map in this best of 7 is Abyssal Reef, and to the top left-hand corner, spawning as Purple Protoss, playing for LDLC and France, it's Miyako. And to the bottom right, spawning as Orange Protoss, playing for Rival Gaming and the USA, it's Koshkii. Opening with a Gateway expand, it seems, and also getting a good scout off, while her opponent is doing the same, actually just totally mirroring each other's builds, which is quite interesting. This is like even, how do you call it in English? Oh, damn. Like rotational, congruent, maybe? I'm just lacking the English words here, ladies and gentlemen. My English math, or my math terms in English are just not on point. So I'm sorry for that, but yeah. You probably know what I mean. But quite interesting to see that happening here. Okay, now it's just changed up a little bit because the cybernetic score gets thrown down here. Well, no, actually, the cybernetic score, no, actually, it's a little bit... No, it's also almost the same place here. So both players just planting down the buildings accordingly to each other. Quite interesting here. Let's see if both will even produce the same unit at first. Koshkii has a probe sitting here, while Miyako has a probe sitting here. What the hell is going on? I mean, some might even think this is some sort of map hack here. The way that both players are just mirroring each other's moves. This is so funny. And now even 2 Stalkers up for both players, while we have the Mothership Core out for Miyako a little bit later, since she just went into Warp Gate a little bit quicker than her opponent, who has not started Warp Gate yet, which might actually be a small mistake here. Maybe Koshkii's nerves are getting to her. So yeah, the cybernetic core is out, but no no Warp Gate research so far. I think that's a blunder here. I think Koshkii really wants to have out that Warp Gate and just forgot to activate it. Ugh, this could come back to haunt her critically here. I mean, Warp Gate is almost halfway done for Miyako, and Koshkii has not even started it. Just still waiting for the Stalkers to come out. I can't really think... I mean, this might just actually be a very precise timing build where she just wants to get out these 2 Stalkers as quickly as possible, and that's why she just waited for the cybernetics core. But she even had enough resources in order to plant it down, so I just guess it was a small blunder there. Or actually a huge blunder. We cannot really call that small. That was like a huge blunder there. So now she has 4 Stalkers out, just plants, or just positions 2 Stalkers inside her own mineral line in order to defend against Oracle harassment, while sending the other 2 Stalkers across the map for some harassment, which might actually work out quite nicely here. She even gets a sentry as well. I mean, Miyako has 2 Stalkers out of her own, so there won't really be any much damage dealt. I mean, Koshkii not even getting the first shot off on Miyako Stalkers, but it's the other way around. So Miyako can just easily drive these 2 Stalkers away, while Koshkii takes a natural base off her own, but Miyako's is already done. So, a way better start for Miyako here in this first game. Well, maybe Koshkii just needs the pressure before she can actually show her A game. We saw that in her match against Tsuno, so maybe she just needs to be down 0-2. Well, no, this can just be nerves. I mean, Miyako is still in her game. She's just played her best of 5, while Koshkii had a lot of time in between, which can be good, because maybe then your brain is a little bit rested, and you might be able to focus a little bit better. But sometimes it might even be a disadvantage because your the other player is just still warm, is still warmed up, and can just easier focus on what to do. So it depends what kind of player you actually are. Some players really need to have a little rest there between games. Other players just want to do the next best of 5 immediately because they just feel ready to do it. So we have Blink incoming, as well as a Warp Prism after the Observer here. So seems as if Miyako just wants to pressure her opponent pretty strong. Another pylon going down in order to help out, and another pylon just in order. Well, okay, if Koshkii really wants to attack into this base and a mothership core is in place, that would be really problematic for her with 3 pylons getting overcharged. So no way for Koshkii to engage into here, but she doesn't plan right now. So has spotted the Warp Prism though, which is pretty huge for Koshkii. The question is, will she be able to really deal with the forces of Miyako? She has 2 Immortals out, which is pretty good, considering here that Miyako actually wants to push out with Blink Stalkers, and does now, over the right-hand side, doesn't want to be spotted too early on. So this is kind of a surprise attack from the right-hand side. But of course, that's still a pretty narrow choke point here. So with the Immortals ready, if Miyako, of course, manages to take out the Immortals pretty quickly here, it might work out somehow. Maybe Miyako also wants to attack in the main base at the same time, so just loading up a few units here. Okay, let's see what she actually wants to do. Maybe she even wants to fly in and then just close off or seal off the ramp over here. I think that might be the plan. Yeah, that is. Okay, here it is. Just planting down the force field, keeping all of the units out. Nice little move there, though, by Koshkii, just getting the mothership core to transport all of the units inside the main base. That was a very smart move there, using the recall ability in order to get all of her army into the main base in an instant there. Pretty nicely done here. That could have gone way worse, but for now, Miyako just very behind so far in supply, but she's already taken a 3rd base, which is almost done. The only thing she now has to be careful is a counter push of Koshkii, but maybe after the first aggression, Koshkii is reluctant to do so. So Miyako just needs a small pause here.
Game resumed.
And here we go. So like I said, the only thing that Miyako really has to be careful now would be a counter push, an immediate counter push by Koshkii here into that nexus, into that 3rd nexus here. For now, Koshkii doesn't even know that it's there. Rather wants to take a 3rd base of her own. But again, she's a little bit behind in everything. I mean, she was behind with her 1st base, she was behind with her 3rd base, she was behind with gateway tech from the beginning. She now goes into Templar Archives, probably to get some Archons out. Usually you don't want to have Storm. I mean, Storm can dish out quite okay-ish damage, but the Archons are usually the beefier part of the army that you want, while Miyako actually wants to transition into either Colossi or Disruptors. We'll see. I mean, considering the metagame, Blink Stalkers and Disruptors would probably be what you want to choose. We will see what comes out, if it's going to be Thermal Lance or if it's going to be a Disruptor right away. So let's see what's going to happen. Right now we have an attack over at the right hand side, and Miyako's Stalkers might be able to actually take down that Nexus before the units of Koshkii actually get close enough. Now just moves into the main base here. Where was the Observer actually? That's quite interesting there. How did she actually get vision inside the main base? Maybe with the help of a Hallucinated Phoenix? I don't really know. But just dealing some damage up here before moving down towards the 3rd base once more. Koshkii already has the Immortal in place, but it seems as if Miyako will just be able to focus fire down the 3rd Nexus, and that's just huge. Taking out that Nexus and then getting away with the remaining Stalkers is already a very big move. The rest of the army now just has together once more. And I don't know, maybe this move will just trigger Koshkii to go for an all-in and just walk across the map trying to kill her opponent right now, since she knows that she's behind economically. You know, she must be behind. I mean, that's what must go through her head right now. I have to do something. I have to force an engagement here. My army is probably bigger than that of of my opponents. But of course, running into Disruptors could be pretty problematic here. Disruptors could just turn the tide of the battle. Miyako's forces are considerably weaker than those of Koshkii, but with the gateways, just blocking a few of these units, having a few more units around, maybe overcharging that one pylon that's not really that strong. But like I said, I mean, the Disruptor could be the saving grace here. We'll see. Another pylon goes down. Yeah, partly for just keeping these units from attacking the right thing. But yeah, Koshkii not falling for it, just going right inside there, taking out the pylon over here probably, which will just unpower all of these gateways. And yeah, Miyako just immediately abandons the base over here, knows that she cannot hold it, and saves all of the probes, but will lose the gate, the base as well, while Koshkii is just taking her own. And now, of course, like I said before, Miyako just always has to be careful for counter pushes here. Koshkii has a very, very frightening army there. Let's see if she will actually get in there. She also has a Warp Prism with her, and strong timing pushes are her forte. So let's see, will the Disruptor actually get the good shot? Where is it? Where the hell is it? Oh no! The Disruptor unfortunately was ready towards the wrong position, so it never was out actually. So where is it now? Where's the Disruptor now? We need some good Disruptor shots, otherwise Koshkii will just go through everything. Well, very good Disruptor shots, but it doesn't even matter. All of the units are still alive. The Disruptor shots just hit all of the beefy units here that got considerably low. Well, the DTs could have been the saving grace if Koshkii hadn't had an observer with her, but she had. Miyako dropping to 35 supply will also lose the natural base over here. And despite looking pretty advantageous in the early game, the final push of Koshkii made her lose the first map. Proxima Station is the second map. We have Koshkii to the bottom left and Miyako to the top right. So, Miyako's map choice. No vetoes this time around, because there's 7 maps on the map pool and it's a best of 7. So, unfortunately, no one could veto a map they don't like. But seems as if Miyako is pretty fond of Proxima Station. Has planted down a pylon, so no proxy shenanigans whatsoever. I'm really curious if we will see any sort of proxy cheese in the series. I mean, both players are capable of doing it. Koshkii actually likes her 4-gate, her proxy 4-gate. Well, maybe not against Protoss, but maybe also cannon rushing. And we've already seen Miyako cannon rushing Mitsukotse, so let's see if she also wants to pull it off against her opponent. It's a gateway, no forge, so no way to do something along those lines, but she sees the double gateway opening. That's of course already a big giveaway for our French Protoss player. In the meantime, Koshkii also checks for a base down here, will not find any, but we will then see the cybernetics core going down right after her own. So Miyako now has enough money in order to plant down a base, but unfortunately the probe is just keeping her from doing so. Koshkii will just... Ooh! Koshkii even throwing down a pylon here to keep her opponent from expanding. That might actually... No, okay, just wants to be a little bit ahead when taking the base here. So in the meantime, Mothership Core also for Koshkii. Koshkii actually making already a pretty good impression here. She already has 2 gateways and the cybernetics core down. Still again just waiting for the 50 minerals probably to get out. No, actually still not. She's really still waiting for this gateway. So since it's happening again, I really feel that this is deliberately done, that she really wants to get out these units and everything else earlier than Warp Gate. That Warp Gate is just not the most important part in this build, and it's just deliberately done. So nice, and Miyako being forced to take a nexus outside the base, which is probably just what Koshkii wanted, in order to deal some early harassment towards the natural base, towards the second base, which Miyako was forced to take outside and not at the back pocket expansion position. So that's of course a little bit annoying for her already, having to defend. I was already thinking of White Raw. Having to defend the base out here. We make a base and then we defend it. So, Koshkii already checked for some proxy shenanigans out at the debris that blocks an entrance towards a natural base, but there's nothing there. So, Mothership Core out. We have a Robo incoming for Koshkii and an Oracle incoming for Miyako. Quite interesting here. Doing sort of a counterplay against the Robo-heavy style with a Stargate play. Let's see if Miyako can make good use of the Oracle and get herself a little advantage. In the meantime, we have more gateways incoming. A lot of sentries actually being made, but unfortunately for Koshkii, she also built her units a little bit, or her buildings a little bit too close to each other, and since the rally point went somewhere over here, I think that's just a little mistake, a lot of her units actually get trapped right behind her gateways here. I don't know how soon she's going to realize that. That might actually be a big problem here, but maybe now she just portals them out. Yeah, we'll probably just do that. Ooh, and there comes the Oracle here, just flying in, getting one probe kill already, but not many more, because the Photon Overcharge has already been done. Yeah, and that's very unfortunate here for Koshkii. Normally Koshkii would have been more than ready for this with her typical her typical early two stalkers here. Two stalkers are inside the mineral line of the natural base, and then she would have had another stalker and the sentry inside the mineral line of her main base. So she would have easily defended that Oracle. I mean, it's still only 3 probe kills. But yeah, unfortunately for her, these units just appeared behind the wall, and that's of course a little bit unfortunate. Let's see if she actually just waits for the first warp prism in order to get these units out, or if she just transport them out using recall. We'll see. Or if she just forgets about them completely, which would be very, very sad. So, Twilight Council incoming in the meantime for her. Also a robotics facility going down for Miyako here. Seems as if she doesn't want to commit too much into the Stargate play, but she also she also starts to produce starts producing more Phoenixes here. So let's see. And even getting a second Stargate. So it seems in the long run she really wants to go for Sky Toss once more. Needs Koshkii to give her enough time for that. Koshkii is already going into a Templar Archive. I think she really wants to push pretty hard quite soon, probably around the 10-minute mark. But we will only know for certain once it's going to happen. At the meantime, we have a cute little forest down here at the second base. We also have a lot of pylons in position, and Miyako will have the lead in air units. So there's no big chances for Koshkii to do any kind of success. Well, actually there's always a chance to do some successful harassment with the warp prisms, because the Phoenixes cannot be everywhere. And most of the cases you will still be able to just sneak in the warp prism somewhere, warp in a few units, but maybe then it's going to be taken down by the Phoenixes, so you will probably only be able to do it once. And if you just unfortunately happen to fly in from the wrong angle, you might even lose everything before being able to deal damage. So, third base now incoming for Miyako as well, both players just laying back a little bit, wanting to get up their economy, wanting to get up the desired tech, but of course, waiting for a long time is always something that can put the Protoss player into an advantageous position. The Protoss player that's going for carriers, sorry, into an advantageous position. Miyako just in the meantime flying in with the Oracle, finding a little more damage here, killing 2 probes. Nothing all too spectacular, but at least something she could do with the Oracle. Pretty oversaturated at the natural base, but she has to wait for this Nexus to finish before she can then finally transfer a few probes. In the meantime, Koshkii definitely going for a superior ground army. Now the Phoenix is finally moving in. Even getting one of these Phoenixes even getting a feedback from one of the Templars here, before the Templars could actually morph into Archons. But yeah, I mean, Koshkii's force will be pretty strong on the ground, but will not have that much anti-air. I mean, right now Koshkii must have realized that her opponent is obviously going for a few Stargates, because she saw the Phoenixes coming in. I mean, this amount of Phoenixes at that point in time wouldn't actually need 2 Stargates, but if you suddenly, after the early engagements, see your opponent coming in with a lot of Phoenixes, you will probably just assume that they will go Sky Toss. So, oh, Miyako, that might have been a misrally here. I don't really think that that Mothership Core should be over here, sacrificing itself to the cannon. But yeah, now it did, and she has to remake it. So, carriers in the meantime also in production. And there we have the Phoenixes just coming in from the right-hand side, from the left-hand side once more, killing off a probe or 2. Always being active with these Phoenixes is a good thing if you go for Phoenix play. Might even be able... that's actually a nice move, getting in with the Oracle and planting a Stasis Ward here. Just wants to let... Woo! Oh, look at that, what a carnage here. Just getting all of these probes trapped inside the Stasis Ward, and even setting up a new one, while Koshkii can only look and do nothing for now. She doesn't have Blink up here, but now finally just kills it with the High Templar and a feedback. So nicely done at least, but yeah, okay, now finally the probes are freed once more, but the only thing that Koshkii needs to do now is transfer them once more. At the same time, Miyako just still relentless with these Phoenixes, but that's just what she wants, keeping her opponent pinned back, making her opponent afraid of these Phoenix attacks and keeping her back while she herself is just tacking up to carriers. Seems as if Koshkii won't fall for it. She realizes what her opponent wants to do here. So she just moves out with the strong ground force she has. By now, there's only Phoenixes, mostly Stalkers Adepts, and the first 2 carriers. That should be pretty helpful here. There's not much anti-air, especially not much anti-air that can get around of the ground forces of Miyako here. Actually not at all. I mean, she really needs to power through the ground forces and then get close to the air forces. I think Koshkii will probably retreat once she sees the first interceptors here. Because, I don't know, I think she can't really go up against this. Oh, another Mothership Core dies. I think that was Koshkii's escape plan. So she needs to retreat on the ground now, and Miyako will just chase her down a little bit. Will just try to make more use of her Phoenixes, just lifting up everything she can. Cannot lift Archons because they are massive, but the rest of the remaining army is also just following. The carriers come in, and now unfortunately Koshkii will probably not be able to retreat. Will just lose all of her army right now, and I think from that point on, even losing the another Warp Prism that had been rallied. Oh no, the Warp Prism actually gets out with 1 Stalker inside. Koshkii just tries to warp in a few more units, getting more Stalkers, trying to kill off as many forces on the ground, from the ground as she can, but the Phoenixes just pick them up. Well, there's only 1 more carrier left, and it seems as if Koshkii actually managed to break through. What a nice move here. So Koshkii not being quite certain whether she should advance more, so just retreats for a little bit. I mean, Miyako's supply is just looking tremendously here. She still has 147, 2 more carriers has finished. So even though Koshkii managed to kill off these few units, and maybe now it might have even trapped herself, she doesn't have blink, so she cannot really blink away. The Phoenixes come in close, just lift up all of these Phoenixes, making them ready for these carriers to fly in and destroy all of them. And now unfortunately even a miss rally here, the AI unfortunately leading all of these units right through the fighting zone. So yeah, everything just died. I mean, Koshkii is below 100 supply, Miyako at 146. Koshkii just tries to build her saving grace with the help of a Dark Shrine. Miyako just retreats for a little bit, wants to scout for a potential fourth base, which she will just immediately scout. It's unprotected at all, so she will again be able to... will only kill a few pros because these Phoenixes don't have that much energy left on them, so unfortunately she cannot lift any more of them. Could have killed way more. But yeah, Miyako now just sitting back like Midas normally does, waiting for her 200 carrier army, and then will just probably roll over, ruffle stomp her opponent, because there's not much that Koshkii can actually do from here on out. I mean, Koshkii just desperately trying to get 1 Stargate out, but and a second one, but it just won't help. I mean, she just tries to get Void Rays out because she cannot produce anything else. She doesn't have the Fleet Beacon yet. But even if she had, she knows that she will not be able to keep up with Miyako's carrier production, so she needs to have other means in order to take down the carriers. And Void Rays in good masses can actually help against that if you manage to come close enough and focus firing them down one after another while having something else to take the heat. But it's again just still a theoretical thing. It's not something that should actually work out. So let's see. Miyako in the meantime has already managed to get up to 6 carriers, is producing 3 more, also getting the upgrades. So yeah, I mean, she will be up in supply, she will be up in upgrades, she will have the higher tech units that cause more DPS, and she also has her units cloaked. I don't really see how Koshkii can actually win this game. I mean, she will have an observer in the fight. And if Miyako doesn't have an observer of her own, that will actually just focus on, and then just focus fire the observer down, Koshkii will be able to see the remaining units, but it still just doesn't matter. I mean, like I said, the damage output will just be so high. Koshkii just trying to deal some damage by harassments with the zealots here, so she just moves towards the first base location. There's a cannon here that will probably just buy her some time. Yeah, she just immediately sends it right into the middle line. Will probably even put these zealots then on hold command, yeah, so that they will just kill off everything and not run towards that cannon. Now they finally do, yeah, but just right behind each other. So yeah, eventually they will be able to kill this cannon over here, but Miyako just warps in a few adepts and might even be able to save her photon cannon. Yeah, she does. Koshkii just retreats, but these units will probably not get away. Or maybe, well, maybe they will. At the meantime, we have the big engagement over at Koshkii's third. So finally Miyako has decided with the 199 to 200 army that it's time to actually kill everything off. Yeah, and like I said before, it was of course very important for Koshkii to kill off the mothership. But yeah, killing off the mothership, she just takes so much damage from the rest of the carriers, and Miyako ties the series 1-1. We're in Newkirk, and we have Miyako spawning to the bottom right, while Koshkii spawned to the top, to the bottom left. And let's see, Koshkii actually chose this map deliberately, but she's not going for some sort of proxy shenanigans. It seems, well, maybe she wants to go for a camel rush. Very early probe. Really want to see what this building is going to be. And it's going to be a normal gateway. Boo, boring! No, of course, never mind. Damn it. Forgot to get in game. Damn it. Okay, sorry for that, but fortunately I managed to change it quickly enough. So yeah, nothing very important happened anyways. It was no proxy shenanigan whatsoever. So it's just standard opening by both players again. So in just a few seconds, chat will spam me, telling me that I should change the picture, should change the overlay, but I already changed it. So it wasn't your help. I realized it early enough. So, okay, looks as if Miyako, Koshkii does not manage to steal the gas this time around. So Miyako probably just realized what her opponent was doing here. Unfortunately, I wasn't here to have a look at that. But it seems as if Koshkii just wanted to steal the assimilator from Miyako, but she didn't manage to do it. So at the same time, Miyako is still checking for the natural base of Miyako's. But none have been planted down so far. And Miyako just hides her probe for a scout later on. So the in-game music actually is on. Maybe it's not loud enough. Maybe I can just put this up a little bit louder later on. But this is one of the music tracks that's a little bit less loud anyway. So, Miyako already plants down a pylon here, so this is probably going to be quite interesting. What she really wants to do with that, maybe even wants to throw down another gateway over here, yeah, for quick warp-ins. So it seems as if she wants to go for full-out aggression here. on one base. So 2 Stalkers already go out. Let's see if they see anything. No, not even checking. So this little maneuver by Miyako might actually work out quite well. Koshkii is actually searching for proxies, but at the wrong location. So let's see. And there they are, the overlay warnings. Thank you for doing that. I still appreciate your help. Yeah, and we have, wow, a lot of Stalkers even still being produced while the Warp Gate research is not done yet. She's chrono boosting like crazy. So yeah, this is going to be a full-out assault. Seems as if Koshkii is somehow sniffing this out. I mean, she hasn't... Well, okay, she has seen... Yeah, okay, she has seen the gateways, so she knows that some sort of proxy is up. And now she's seen the gateway, so now she definitely knows what's coming up. Is planting down more and more pylons. Well, I don't know if it actually matters, since she will only have 1 mothership core with enough energy for, like, yeah, 2 photon overcharges right now. Maybe a 3rd one available, but I don't think she really wants to fire up all 3 of those at a time. So, yeah, but still, I mean, this way, of course, it doesn't matter if Koshkii, if Miyako actually takes out one of these pylons, because she will still always have some available. Yeah, really wants to take out that mothership core if possible. Miyako even wanted to plant down a pylon over here in order to have some additional firepower with the photon overcharge. So now, of course, wants to lure out the mothership's core photon overcharge. Did that quite perfectly here. Unfortunately, just having her own mothership core a little bit too close there, and that's really a big deal, because the mothership core was the only thing that granted her the high ground vision. So now the Stalkers actually have to move upwards the ramp a little bit and have to move in right into these pylon triangle here. So yeah, just setting up another photon overcharge. I mean, the only thing that Koshkii needs to do right now is buy time for Immortals to come out, and I think then this should be held quite easily. So yeah, losing the mothership core was already a really big blunder there by Miyako, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't really see this working anymore. I mean, Koshkii is also on 2 warp gates. Will now have out a 4th one quite soon. Already has Immortals out, which are just magnificent damage dealers against the Stalkers. And Miyako doesn't even have Blink, so it's a lot of units she has. Yeah, okay, that's actually the best thing okay, but unfortunately it's just a little bit too late. Wow, the anti-timing here, or just the right timing for Koshkii. Just walking down the ramp while Miyako didn't have the sentries available, because that was actually the only problematic part for Koshkii. That under normal circumstances she would have never been able to actually move out, because she would always risk of getting her army separated by a force field, because she didn't have any force field breaking units inside her army. But yeah, unfortunately Miyako just retreated a little bit too far, was just warping in a few sentries in order to do that. In order to keep her opponent from coming down that ramp and maybe expanding right behind it while soft containing her opponent. But yeah, Koshkii just moved down the moment where Miyako was not close to the ramp, was not having the sentries. They were just warping in, so that was actually the only point in time where Koshkii could move down without fearing that her units would be, without really having the chance of getting her own units separated by that force field. So, woo! That was a bit lucky there by Koshkii, yeah? And now she's just going immediately into a Dark Shrine. I mean, she knows that her opponent doesn't have that much tech up. Miyako, in the meantime, just tries to go into Stargate, tries to get some firepower up against a potential counter push. Not really preparing for DTs at all. I mean, she might be able... or she is able, actually, to produce an Oracle right behind it. I don't know if she wants to do it. If she thinks about the possibility, she might, but yeah, I mean, if she doesn't, and once the Warp Prism hits with the Dark Templars being warped in, then she will probably just immediately write GG. Yeah, another Void Ray. Like I said, she just wants to get firepower up against the counter push, the potential counter push that could come but is not coming. And she's pretty far behind. I mean, she really needs to win on 1 base, which means she needs to attack quite early on. Koshkii just sees everything, knows what's coming here, has probably even seen the Void Ray laser, so yeah, and Miyako just tries to go into carrier attack behind us once more. On 1 base? I don't really know. Is there anything else she could want to get? No. Fleet Beacon would also grant you the Anion Pulse Crystal. The Anion Pulse Crystals, so, but you don't have any Phoenix, or Miyako doesn't have any Phoenix. Sis, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, the Dark Shrine is done. The Warp Prism is already moving in. We have 2 DTs in here. We have no detection at all. And probably we're going to see GG now. I mean, there's just nothing that Miyako can do. Just nothing. She can just pull away all of her probes, which means no mining at all. Yeah, just waiting for the Oracle. And in the meantime, the DT's just walking around, killing more and more probes. The lost mining time is just huge. Okay, at least she just... nice force field here. Keeps the DT from killing that pylon, because she obviously realized that the Stargate is now producing an Oracle. So the DTs will not deal that much more damage, but I think the damage has just already been dealt. Like I said, I mean, Miyako is still on 1 base while her opponent is on 2 base. The longer this game goes, the more problematic for Miyako it becomes to win this game anymore. She just would have needed a very, very strong... Okay, still the, the Dark Templar is still in here. Unfortunately, the Revelation did not get all of those. So yeah, and now she, again, just loses... Nice force field usage. I mean... Despite not being able to see that DT, she takes really, really small damage from it. So that's really, really interesting. But yeah, again, more Templars being warped in. Revelation cannot be everywhere at once. So if Koshkii is just careful with splitting them up, there's no way Miyako can come back into this game. GG's out, and Koshkii takes the lead with a 2-1. Paladino Terminal is our 4th map in this thrilling best of 7 between Miyako and Koshkii. So again, only a pylon, maybe a forge. Will we see some cannon rushing? Whew! I have the gunners on now. I can feel the power of Adelscott. Adelscott was an important Protoss player back in Wings of Liberty. So, we have a gateway going down for Miyako, we have a gateway going down for Koshkii. Good old boring gateway play. No cannon rushes whatsoever, but this time around, Koshkii manages to steal the gas off of Miyako. So this could be quite interesting from now on out. Koshkii likes to do this a lot. I think we've seen her doing this in her series against Poison. I think it worked out once, but then Poison was always aware of it and always managed to keep her from getting that gas. So, let's see what Koshkii is actually up to with the gas steal, and if Miyako will be able to counter it even without the gas. Having the gas stolen just sets you back quite a lot as Protoss, because you only get gas from one geyser, which usually leads to less gas early on, which usually means you won't be able to produce that many gas-heavy units, or gas-many structures, or gas-heavy upgrades. So usually you of course want to produce, or want to go into the... yeah, that's probably why Miyako even does the full wall off here, because she doesn't want to have adepts shading inside her main base, because that's just a typical way to abuse the fact that your opponent is not capable of getting out early gas units like Stalkers. If you can get out Stalkers in order to counter the adepts, then you might be in a bit of a problematic situation there. Of course, adepts are not the only way you can use this, but for now Miyako just had to produce one Zealot, which she normally wouldn't have produced, and now has to tear down this assimilator, and will, like I said, get her own gas way later than usual. But Miyako, already prepared for everything, is already hiding a pylon outside on the map, and now wants to go for some sort of proxy shenanigans. From the position, I'd rather go with a hidden Dark Shrine than with a Stargate here, but it might be a Stargate as well. Maybe expecting an early base to go down, but Koshkii so far only on one base, is adding a few more gateways and a robo right behind it, and is getting an Oracle as well. So yeah, that's of course something that could cause some trouble there for Miyako. She doesn't have that many defenses against air units. She doesn't even have a pylon back close to her mineral line because she just wanted to hide a little tech here and a little tech over here as well. So maybe she just wanted to have this pylon down here for warp-ins because she just expected her opponent to attack from the front and then just wanted to put some counter pressure using this forward pylon here. Okay, we'll see. The Oracle now flies in. We finally have at least one pylon ready. That doesn't cover all of the mineral line, but most of it. So Koshkii now has to fly around. If she actually wanted to deal more damage, she could just fly towards the edges of the assimilators over here and over here to just try and kill a few more of these probes, but she rather just moves out. Has seen, though, all of these structures that were hidden and tucked back inside Miyako's main base. Miyako will, of course, if she wants to move out with zealots, will have to tear down the pylon over here. She has a lot of gateways now and will have a fleet beacon. Is that for warp prism speed? That's probably for warp prism speed. I can't really imagine anything else that fleet beacon should be working with. I mean, she has. Does she have? No, but she doesn't have a. She doesn't have a robo. Like what? Okay, then it's probably going to be Phoenix range because that's actually the only thing I can imagine. I mean, she doesn't really want to go on one base. We have also some proxies being built by Koshkii as well. What the fuck is this crazy game? I mean, okay, oh, she just wanted to have a mothership. Oh, never mind. That's what the fleet beacon was for. She wanted to have it for the mothership. Yeah, of course. That was the only thing I just wasn't thinking about. So, okay, gateway, a proxy position where Koshkii can just always warp in if need be. She's also still on one base. This is going to be one base carnage here. Let's see if Koshkii will actually be able to break through. There are not that many units. I mean, Miyako has zealots, but they don't have speed. So, I mean, theoretically, Koshkii should be able to just infinitely kite all of these units. And yeah, I mean, Miyako just pulls back immediately. She doesn't have anything against the Void Rage. Her zealots can't even shoot up. Now her pylon is destroyed, so no more warp-ins from these warp gates over here. Only warp-ins from this. She's actually going into carriers. She's actually going into one base carrier with zealots on the ground. That was a really strange build, but unfortunately I think it's not really working out. The only good thing going for her now is the mothership, which actually just makes all of these units invisible and also the building, but yeah, I mean, there's not much to protect. She just, okay, that's actually a nice move here. She just lures all of these units right into those pylons and fires all of them up, and unfortunately Koshkii really falls for it. Moves all of her units into the pylons because she desperately wanted to get this mothership down. In the meantime, she managed to warp in some stalkers at the back of the map with the help of her proxy pylon there. But yeah, I mean, okay, in the meantime, Miyako just tries to fire up these warp gates once more, but the pylon just goes down once more. And, yeah, I mean, the zealots come in close. Koshkii now has to stutter step a micro back against these zealots here. And at the same time has to take out that stalker. We already have the first carrier out. It's now producing the first few interceptors here. So that might actually help because 4 stalkers will probably not be enough to take down this carrier here. I think Koshkii should not even try to do it. I mean, she's dealing tremendous amounts of damage, but these interceptors are also dealing a lot of damage. And it seems that Miyako might be barely able to hold for now, but she will probably not get out a second carrier here. So with only slow zealots and 1 carrier, I mean, the supplies look pretty even. None of these players can actually transition into a macro game here, I feel. Both really want to end it right there, but Koshkii finally just realizes that she will probably not be able to break through, recalls and transports all of her army back into her main base, and will probably now go for a Nexus, maybe the same as Miyako. What a crazy game so far, ladies and gentlemen. I can't really believe that this worked out. And Miyako just immediately this game. Miyako just immediately going into a mothership once more. Where does she actually get the resources? Yeah, I mean, the base is almost mined out. Miyako not going into a base. What the hell? What the hell? I mean, she obviously just wants to wait for the mothership core to arrive, warp in a few more units with the resources she has left on this base, and will then just probably try to kill her opponent straight out, but I don't know. I mean, this looks rather strong. The good thing is that the Zealots indeed keep the Stalkers away from the carrier, because even though they are slow Zealots, Koshkii still has to micromanage her Stalkers back against those. So the Stalkers can actually not come close to that carrier picking it up, or taking it down. I mean, even if they did, even if Koshkii just committed to taking it down, the Zealots would just shred through all of these Stalkers there. So now finally Miyako moves out, tries to take a Nexus of her own, while Koshkii already has taken her own natural base and is now saturating her with the probes from the main base mostly. So another observer just flying across the map has already found the fleet beacon here, which is not really that important. And now we have the big army movement by Miyako. I mean, most units are cloaked. She has observers out, but they are not close to the base. And it seems as if we're going into a base race situation here. Okay, no, never mind. Koshkii just retreats completely, recalls back, and now we will see if the engagement will actually work out. I think Koshkii really needed to make this Void Ray fire against the mothership core here. Firing from two sides, mothership core, mothership not down yet, and the Zealots and everything else just ripping through the remaining army of Koshkii here. Koshkii just doesn't have enough in order to fight it down, and the observer was not there as well, so she couldn't see the cloaked units, was desperately trying to tear down the mothership, but there was just not enough firepower in the air. GG, well played, and Miyako dies the series 2-2. Fifth map, Cactus Valley. We have Miyako spawning to the bottom right hand corner in purple, and Koshkii in orange to the top right hand corner. After a crazy one base, one carrier mass zealot build that actually kinda somehow worked out against Koshkii's one base push. We're now at 2-2, and this has become a regular best of 3. Let's see who's going to take the next few games. Standard opening for both players once more. Gateway into an expand at some point, either directly after the gateway or only after, or maybe two gateways, or after the cybernetics core. Let's see who's earlier with it. Or maybe even one base play once more, but I don't think so after the last map. That would be rather odd to see once more. Okay, handshake are the two probes, so now they will probably know where each other's spaces are. Or maybe not. I mean, this could just be a late scout as well. Forgot to. Damn it. What's just up with me? Always forgetting the overlay. I'm so sorry about that. Where did I stop? So yeah, we just have these scoutings going on. Both players just mirroring each other's builds. And in the meantime we have Miyako with the earlier expansion. So let's see what Koshkii wants to do from here on out. If she just stays on one base again, trying to force her way through, or if she also is going for an expand. Seems as if the second, the latter. So here it is. Next is going down a little bit later. So small advantage for Miyako already. Koshkii chrono boosting the first Stalker out. Same for Miyako. Another gateway in production. The first defensive pylon that's going to help out, just in case, with the photon overcharge. And so far again, both players just mirroring each other's tactics. Taking out the unbuildable rocks, nothing all too spectacular here. And there we have the first difference. Robotics build for Miyako. But there's the robotics for Koshkii as well. So only a little bit later. So robotics-based play. Maybe this time around we're going to see Disruptor Wars. Probably not, but maybe. I mean, it seems as if both players are not really fond of the idea of playing Disruptors. Koshkii in the meantime, as always, positioning Stalkers and a Sentry this time around even inside her mineral line, her natural mineral line, so in order to keep it safe from Oracle harassment. We'll also do the same later on with the mineral line in the main, although she already has a mothership core and a lot of pylons here. But yeah, in order to keep both places safe from Oracle harassment, mothership core just makes the main base safe, and the first few units over here with sentries and stalkers just make the base over here safe. So it seems as if Koshkii this time around really wants to push into Miyako's army using sentries and force fields in order to just split the army of Miyako up. So, but Miyako, it seems, wants to go into Disruptors this time around. Or maybe into Colossus Drop. Miyako, like, what the hell? So we'll see what's going to happen next, but I don't think this is going to be Thermal Lance. No, it's actually Warp Prism Speed, and we have the Disruptor, so it's going to be Disruptor Drops. Players from Brute War, cheer right now, because we are going to see the SE2 equivalent to Reaver drops. And I know you want to see it. So let's see how much damage actually Miyako will be able to do with that. Koshkii in the meantime has scouted. I don't know if she's seen the Warp Prism over here. Has probably seen the robotics facility. Does she know about the... Yes, she does. Okay, she knows about the robotics bay, and she also saw it researching. But she might be expecting Colossi now. Let's see if she really... And I mean, even if she knows that, disruptors are on the way, she's there to intercept the Warp Prism. That could actually work out pretty nicely here. So let's see if Miyako is paying attention. She is. But yeah, like I said, I mean, oh no! Unfortunately, unloading the disruptor at the wrong point. This could have been really bad for all the army, but this didn't work out at all. Yeah, she just wanted to unload the disruptor over here and then sent the disruptor, shot the Dragon Ball over to the right-hand side. Could have maybe even destroyed all of these units with one shot. But yeah, unfortunately it didn't work out. So Warp Prism now warping in a few more units. Disruptor is still on cooldown, but will have another shot available right now. If Miyako actually moved this unit over to the ramp, and once the units try to get upwards that ramp, that could just deal critical damage there. Miyako right now just trying to get some probe hits. I don't know if that shot was really worth it, but she dealt at least some damage with the adepts up here and with the disruptor down there. So at least 6 workers got killed. Not all too much. We have another Warp Prism moving towards the natural base with the disruptor in place. So again, we have a lot of stalkers. And, okay, this seems as if this, might get down. Will the disruptor get shot off? No! Ew, that was actually also not the best engagement there from Miyako. Actually quite bad micro off of Miyako, which is really uncharacteristic for her. Ooh, unfortunately not even getting one probe kill with his one disruptor shot here. It was just right between all of these probes when it exploded. And now Koshkii even taking a third base quite easily right behind it, after probably realizing that Miyako has taken another one. No, yeah, she doesn't know about Miyako's base at all. Just wanted to take a third base at that point in time. But yeah, at least that's the one thing that Miyako got out of it. A safe and secure third base, because while harassing her opponent, there was actually not much that Koshkii could do in order to keep her from expanding. But yeah, I mean, Koshkii has 2 warp prisms of her own. She obviously wanted to go for an early push as well, but then just had to delay it because she had to defend against the adepts and the one and maybe even a second disruptor there. But yeah, not everything really turned out the way that Miyako actually wanted it to turn out. Well, now we have one good disruptor shot, but at least only getting parts of the shields of this Archon here, and the other disruptor again just barely was not on the high ground, so she couldn't really fire off 2 disruptor shots, which might have been amazing. But yeah, so far Miyako not really being able to make that much good use out of her disruptors here. We'll probably try it again at the third base. We will see whether it's going to work out or not. But so far it's looking kind of okay for Miyako. She's 8 workers ahead. She has had her third base for a considerable time longer than her opponent. She's going into more and more upgrades, getting also a very strong ground-forced army, using disruptors. Well, that was actually a nice catch there. Well, only getting 2 probes, but also getting the cannon out of the way, out of the equation. So Koshkii, already expecting her opponent to move down somewhere over here, has her army in position, but unfortunately... Oh, did Miyako actually move out over there? It seems like it. I don't know, where is it? Did I just miss it? There's one warp prism over here, and it's empty. So it seems as if actually Koshkii's army was at the right position and killed the warp prism together with the 2 disruptors. So then, of course, that was absolutely not worth it. So very unfortunate there for Miyako, very unfortunate for us as well, because unfortunately I didn't look at the right angle here. Sorry for that. Getting slow on my old days. So Psionic Storm even incoming from Miyako, quite nice here, so maybe she just wants to rain it down on her opponent. Also getting the extended thermal lens. Yeah, like I said, a very, very strong ground-based composition. In the meantime, Koshkii taking a 4th base, while Miyako's just teching up more, getting the heavy hitters out, and will then probably eventually try to overwhelm her opponent with ground forces. Luckily for her, Koshkii also going into the ground unit mix. So we'll see how everything is going to work out. Colossi actually not that great anymore in PvP. Some people just swear on more and more Immortals on the ground, because ground-wise Immortals just kill off everything in big ground-to-ground battles. So Koshkii now finally moving out towards the 4th or maybe 3rd base location. Maybe so she already... Does she know about the 4th? No, she doesn't. She knows about the 3rd. Doesn't know about the 4th yet. Will probably not see it unless she expects it to be there. No, she doesn't. Walks right into the 3rd base. The army of Miyako is here. So there's probably not that much that Koshkii can actually do. Well, she actually moves in. She has a lot of Immortals here. Like I said, on the ground, Immortals really are the heavy hitters. Miyako really needs to get off one good shot of the... Wow! That shot actually was what it was supposed to be. So one good disruptor shot, but it seems as if it just doesn't matter, since Koshkii just has the way more powerful DPS dealers here in the Immortals there. So now Miyako just has to defend at 2 places at once, has to hold off the army down here. Koshkii just retreats all of her units after killing every drone, every probe that was at that base, is now moving in, has already a warp prism in place, morphing in more and more units, and Miyako's units just vanishing as we speak. She tries to move back into her natural base, could actually just maybe even use her probes to fight against the rest of these units, but it seems that the Colossus will just barely stay alive, but the damage is not as big as it was, and even if it was, it doesn't really matter. More and more units getting morphed in. GG! And Koshkii takes the lead with a 3-2. We are what could be potentially the last map of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, and it's Honor Grounds. Spawning to the bottom left-hand corner in orange, we have Koshkii playing for Rival Gaming and the USA. And to the top left-hand corner in purple, playing Protoss as well for LELC and France. It's Miyako, who has to win 2 in a row in order to take the series, and she's going for a cannon rush. No way! No. Damn it, I just love this girl. Ever since I first saw her play in an ESL female tournament, I just were in love with the gameplay of this woman. She's just so give a damn. It's like, man, she really doesn't give a fuck. And I don't mean about winning, she really wants to win, but she just does the weirdest stuff at some point in time. Okay, Koshkii has already realized what's going on. She has a probe inside her base and sees the forge, so she really wants to stop this probe from doing anything. And that might as well actually already be game, ladies and gentlemen. Miyako cannot get inside the base, cannot get the necessary pylon down. There's already a pylon down for Koshkii, and eventually she even gets the probe and kills it off. So Miyako at a very big disadvantage already. Having delayed her tech for quite some time. Koshkii sees this, of course. Does not know about the base, though. But can probably assume that her opponent will now go into a base. So let's see how Koshkii actually wants to answer to this failed cannon rush. I mean, it's actually not that bad. Miyako didn't really commit to anything. She didn't, for example, just throw down a lot of pylons and then got the probe killed, which would have been really problematic for her, because then she would be infinitely behind, because she's lost so many resources into committing to that cannon rush. So right now, the only disadvantage she actually has is the delayed tech. And I don't really know if Koshkii can capitalize on that on a map as big as that, although they are still on vertical spawns. So we will see if actually this will come back to haunt Miyako or not. I mean, at the meantime, she's already planted down a gateway plus another photon cannon, just in case her opponent was trying something. And will now probably just wall off with another unit over here. But yeah, her base is a little bit earlier, so unless Koshkii just does a very, very specific high-tech timing push, she will probably not be able to break through Miyako and will not really be able to take advantage of that. So Miyako in the meantime also trying to get some more scouting information, sends out another probe, wants to see what her opponent is doing, if she's actually committing to a one-base push or if she actually wants to go into an expand, which she did. So Zealot will find the probe, will not be able to kill it unfortunately, but the Stalker might be. So yeah, that's of course something that Koshkii really, really wants to do. Nice little snipe there. So now again, Miyako really has to be afraid. She doesn't know what her opponent is up to. She doesn't know whether a second base has been taken. She doesn't know what kind of tech her opponent might be transitioning right behind this. And Koshkii decides for a very good answer, I feel, with the Stargate and the Oracle. Because like I said before, if you delay your own techs by so much, it can be quite difficult to have the right answers against high-tech strategies. But Miyako, again, just guessing the right steps and is already aware, well, maybe not aware, but is already suspecting Koshkii to go from some sort of Stargate play. Going, ooh, actually wanted to go into a Phoenix first, which would have been really nice against the Oracle, but then decides to do the switcheroo and now goes into an Oracle. So, is there any sort of cannon back here? No. We have a pylon out, but we don't, it's not very well placed, and we don't have a photon overcharge available. So this Oracle actually should deal quite a lot of damage. Yeah, we only have one Oracle against the other. Well, greet the other Oracle while moving through it. So now Koshkii knows what's coming, but unfortunately her own Oracle is already there. Unfortunately the probe's just moving around. I don't know why Koshkii actually moves out completely. She must have seen that there's only one photon overcharge here. So I think she should have just retreated a little bit, flown over to here, and could have just easily killed way more of these units here. Maybe she just F2 moved and pulled back all of her units added to home. Because yeah, that was actually quite a nice move there by Miyako, making her opponent lose way more probes than herself. So even though she was at a small tech disadvantage right after the opening, she's kinda okay right now and even managed to deal a lot of damage to her opponent, who is now down 4 workers. So this is actually looking quite nice for Miyako, who is now even taking a ninja expansion, and I love it when players do this on great maps like these, because very often your opponent is just only looking after this half of the map and not the other half. The other half often gets really, really forgotten. So it seems as if Miyako might again just want to go into mass Stargate play and into carriers, while Koshkii is already also going into Fleet Beacon. And yeah, she needs a 3-base echo for this, but she will have it once she just gets this hidden nexus up. So it's a bit of a risk, because very often your hidden nexus is pretty unprotected against anything. So yeah, it's a small risk, but it can often pay off, especially if your opponent is not even scouting for it. So Miyako already has a few phoenixes out, might even, yeah, I think these phoenixes again are just there to do some harassment. Like back on, where was it? Was it Palladino or was it Proxima? I don't really know again. Just buying some time with Phoenix harassment while teching up into carriers. So, and with a 3rd base up already, while Koshkii is only trying to get her 3rd, I mean, there's no way she can deny it. With Phoenixes, you cannot lift buildings, and you cannot attack buildings either. So, most of her units are good for harassment, but not good for taking out a 3rd base. So Koshkii will eventually get that base. Might even lose a few more workers, but she has Void Rays and one Void Ray and 2 Stalkers in play, so I think these Phoenixes shouldn't be able to do all too much. I mean, of course, if Miyako just commits and lifts up a few drones before moving out again, she might be able to get like 1 or 2. But yeah, it's pretty problematic for her. She doesn't really want to lose any Phoenixes by now. And with a Photon Overcharge and all the other units around, she just has to retreat for now. A lot of Phoenixes coming out. So again, like I said, Miyako just wants to make good use of them, wants to fly in every once in a while in order to keep her opponent pinned back while tacking up 2 carriers and getting the necessary resources for it. So 2 carriers already in production for Koshkii though. So it seems that this time around we're going to see a full carrier versus full carrier fight. The question is, at that point in time, when that happens, who is going to have more carriers? And who is going to have the mothership? So, let's see. It's probably going to be a long game. Both players want to max out in a macro game with carriers and maybe some few units on the ground. Miyako just getting in once more, trying to get as good as an advantage as possible by lifting more new workers. I mean, she's ahead 60 to 49 since she's had her own base up for quite some time before her opponent even managed to get her 3rd up, and now even needs to saturate it. Yeah, so big worker lead there for Miyako, which should eventually pay off. I mean, right now she has a supply lead, but that's mostly workers. So for now, I mean, Koshkii already has 2 carriers out, while Miyako, I think, only has Phoenixes. Might even want to get in and maybe focus fire down one of these carriers. Probably not, I don't really think so. I think she will probably just want to go into the natural base once more, and even though there's a photon cannon, it doesn't really matter. She will just easily be able to pick off a few units. Yes, Koshkii has an air force, but it's very, really slow. It's not near way as fast as... not even close to as fast as these Phoenixes here. So, well, even now waiting there, just pulling up another probe and taking it down. Okay, so another 8 workers died. Miyako doing a great job of keeping Koshkii's economy low here, while she just tries to produce her own carriers. But it doesn't really keep Koshkii from producing 2 carriers at a time at the moment. And now 3 carriers at a time being produced by Miyako. So like I said, the only question right now is, at that point in time, when the 2 armies clash, who is going to have more carriers? And Miyako even no, actually, sorry, that's Koshkii getting the mothership core into a mothership, or warping the mothership core into a mothership a little bit earlier here. Phoenix is just coming from the left-hand side, trying to deal some more damage inside the main base. And again, Photon Cannon not really interesting there for Miyako. Doesn't really matter. She will always be able to just pick up a few drones, probes in this case, sorry, a few workers, and then just move out once more quite easily. Even if she loses 1 Phoenix to a Photon Cannon firing, it doesn't really matter that much. So 6, 7, maybe another one? No, not quite. But again, just keeping the economy of her opponent low so that it doesn't even matter that Koshkii is already trying to get a 4th. Miyako has already done the same, so she's already up again in bases, but yeah, her bases are pretty well saturated. I don't really think that she does want to produce that many more workers. I think mostly she just wants to pull off the workers that are not really needed anymore inside the bases in order to saturate that, but you don't really need more than 65 probes as Protoss. You can actually go up to 70 to just get a little more of a boost, but yeah, mostly 65 is totally okay. But maybe not if you want to produce 3 carriers at a time, maybe even a 4th one, because there's another Stargate and another one. Wow. I mean, Miyako really wants to build those carriers out of 5 bases here. And therefore, of course, she needs more and more bases. Even took another hidden base over to the right-hand side that Koshkii knows nothing about. Koshkii hasn't even crossed the half of the map, unless for the first probe. That was, I think it's still here. That's actually the only unit that has ever seen Miyako's territory. So, Mothership is out. I think Miyako will also get a Mothership later on. In upgrades, Koshkii is way ahead. But upgrades do not really matter as much. Yes, Carrier Interceptors scale very well with upgrades, but in a mass carrier fight it just matters who has more and who gets rid of the opponent's Mothership first. Because, like I said before, if you have a big engagement between carriers versus carriers, ooh, that's actually a nice catch here. If Miyako is actually capable of taking out that Mothership, that would be huge. Because, like I said before, very often a carrier versus carrier engagement is decided by the person who has to attack the Mothership. Or who is just attacking the Mothership. Because all that firepower, and for the few seconds that go towards the Mothership, do not go to the rest of the army. While your opponent's army will probably attack the rest of your army. And at that point in time, when your Mothership is down, you will already have suffered so much damage that the engagement will spiral downwards from there on. So that's always a very critical thing you don't actually want to do. If you have vision, because you have observers, you don't really want to focus down the Mothership. It just makes you cost so much DPS that you will probably lose the battle. If you have like almost the same amount of carriers. If you like have superior numbers of carriers, it doesn't matter at all. So, Miyako still managing to deal some damage with the Phoenixes here. Still doing good. She's ahead in bases. She's ahead in workers, not anymore. But let's have a look at the income tab. The income tab's looking better for Koshkii right now. Well, is there a big transfer somewhere? I mean, this is like significantly more minerals. Like, what is going on? It's only a few more harvesters, but... Okay, obviously it seems as if Miyako is just mining inefficiently. Oh yeah, she is. 21 to 8, totally oversaturated. And there are even some French probes not working. So yeah, okay, that explains it. Koshkii obviously way more efficiently mining. Also a little bit oversaturated over here. Not as oversaturated over here, and definitely not as oversaturated over here. So, Miyako now moving in, trying to kill a few more workers, still managing to deal nice damage there. Koshkii in the meantime is at, yeah, let's have a look at the amount, is at 8 carriers, while Miyako is already on 13. So that's what I was talking about. Yes, the upgrades are better for Koshkii, but it probably won't even matter. And Miyako's maxed quicker, so let's see. I mean, once Miyako moves out, and I think she should as soon as possible because she knows she's maxed. I mean, what else does she want to wait for? Does she want to wait for Koshkii to catch up on upgrades? I mean, even she's ahead on upgrades. Does she want to wait for the upgrades to finish? Okay, she probably just... Okay, there's still 2 more carriers building, so of course she wants to wait for those. But then I guess she should attack as soon as possible. She has the carrier advantage. She doesn't have a Mothership, though. I think... Where's the army, actually? It's over here. Okay, never mind. So that's a lot of carriers. And like I said, I mean, at that point in time, it doesn't really matter if you have to focus fire down the Mothership. So this is going to be a slaughter. Complete. Shields level upgrade for Koshkii, I think. No, is that for Miyako? That's for Miyako. Okay, should also come. Ugh, actually, I don't really like Koshkii moving out right now. I mean, she hasn't seen anything of Miyako, but seeing all the Phoenixes should tip her off that she's probably going into carriers herself. Well, maybe she's not expecting her to have 2 more hidden bases that would make her lose this engagement. And I don't know what Miyako is waiting for. There's the rest of the army. There are the final 2 carriers, so never mind. Okay, just sacrificing the base over here. She doesn't need it anyways. And will now probably engage. Okay, let's see. I don't... the problem is that she doesn't really know how many carriers there are. So, let's see. She doesn't really want to engage right now. Has already lost some supply, but that's mostly workers that got killed when this expansion got killed. Oh, waiting a little more. Music is just the best for this situation here. Okay, might even now just kill these phoenixes on purpose. And there it is. The big engagement. The mothership is there. Mothership of Miyako, of Koshkii is already dead. And now we have the big carrier versus carrier fight. Actually, no one is target firing down anyone. It was just interceptors versus interceptors. Now finally Miyako is moving her mothership above her own units. I don't really know what's going on here. It seems as if Miyako just wants to let interceptors fight against interceptors, while Koshkii is target firing down most of these carriers here. But now no one is focus firing everyone? I don't really understand. It's just okay, it seems as if both were just... Okay, there's no revelation, so now finally Koshkii can actually see everything. But yeah, it seems as if Miyako's strategy has actually paid off. She managed to have more interceptors. Her own interceptors eventually killed off Koshkii's interceptors. And now Koshkii just doesn't have any interceptors inside her carriers anymore. And Miyako beats the living crap out of her opponent. I don't know if this really was the best way to do it. I think just focus firing down one carrier after another would have probably been more efficient. But yeah, it worked out, so never mind. Maybe that even is the better way to do it. But I would have actually liked to see a replay of this. Just getting into a replay, having 2 players micromanage these, and like Miyako just focus firing down Koshkii's carriers she could easily see. So I don't really think there's anything that Koshkii can do. GG well played, and Miyako ties the series for a 3-3. It is indeed the last map of this best of 7. We're on Belchia Vestige, spawning to the top left-hand corner in purple, playing Protoss Fel DLC in France. It's Miyako. And to the bottom right, playing the orange Protoss for Rival Gaming and the USA, it's Koshkii. Man oh man, women oh women. 3-3. This match will decide who is going to be the next FSL champion. And I have no idea what these two are up to. So, double gateway opening for Miyako. 1 gateway so far only for Koshkii. Let's see if she's going to change it up after the scout. Wanted actually to get another gas steal here, but it didn't quite work out, it seems. Well, actually no, that gas has already been taken, and that one was the second one. So yeah, I think this probe was just rallied against this assimilator. So, cybernetics core down. Yeah, second gateway also for Koshkii, a little bit later though, and then cybernetics core as well. Koshkii so far on 2 and 2 gas. Her opponent already on 3-3. Thus far. But everything else is mostly a mirror of what the opponent is doing. So with less gas, maybe we'll see a double depth opening, which would be pretty uncommon though for Koshkii, and usually she wants to go for 2 stalkers. Let's see. She already has a probe hidden close to the natural base. We'll probably just sneak in once more. Okay, just wants to see whether her opponent is taking one or not. Might even just put this on patrol move in order to keep her opponent from expanding here. So there we have 2 adepts actually out of Miyako, while we have 2 stalkers out of Koshkii. So pylon being planted down. Yeah, this base again is pretty safe from Oracle harassment with the help of that mothership core. Let's see, no attempt to take an early base whatsoever. Yeah, 2 adepts now walking across the map. Let's see. Actually, okay, I think that's a wise decision. Well, let's see if Koshkii actually moves out or not. Or, yeah, she just wants to have the units in place just in case the units might get out. Okay, just destroys the probe with the mothership core. Adepts are still on the way. First Stalkers are also on the way. Unfortunately, will they pass by? Oh, just barely. There was one little blink showing Koshkii the way where Koshkii could have guessed that something was up. Quite nice move there by Koshkii, actually walking around all the way. Seems as if she just wants to make sure that there are no proxy buildings out there. Well, we have 2 more Stalkers already finished, so no way for Miyako to actually deal that much damage. Tries to get 1 probe kill at least, gets 2, and then has to move out with 1 Adept that's left. So at the same time we have, Koshkii just planting down the pylon in order to keep her opponent from expanding early on. Just cancels it at the last minute so that she won't lose too many resources, only the 25 for cancelling the pylon. So Stalker's moving back after checking this area for proxies, now taking her own nexus after seeing that her opponent has already taken one. So both players are actually pretty even, but we have a Stargate incoming for Miyako, while it's going to be a Robo for Koshkii. So Miyako will be able to harass her opponent immediately after this building finishes, because she will be able to produce an Oracle, which she probably will, and then send it across the map, while her opponent still has to wait for some high attack or for some more units to pop out before she can actually fly across the map with a Warp Prism, for example, and harass her opponent. So more harass capabilities for Miyako in just a few seconds here. And there's the Oracle already on the way. We have 2 Stalkers now moving into the natural base. There's a pylon there and also 2 Stalkers, so no need for Photon Overcharge. Even these 2 Stalkers will easily drive these Stalkers of Koshkii away. So, again, just moving in with the Adept here, trying to get another probe kill, maybe even getting another one. The Mothership Core just does not really deal that much damage. So this Adept has at least 1 kill so far, it doesn't really get another one. So Stalker's just moving back after these Stalkers completely retreated. Where's the Oracle, actually? I would really like to know. Is it there? There it is. Okay, finally finished. And now just wants to move out across the map. Probably wants to fly in from the right-hand side in order to get here. Mothership Core is a little bit out of place, is now with the rest of the army. A little bit uncharacteristic there. It seems as if Koshkii is actually expecting a tougher push coming in from the front. But usually she would have her Mothership Core back with these pylons. So now, of course, Miyako will just get in and get a few kills with this Oracle. So 4 is already okay. With 4 kills you have already made your Oracle worthwhile. So 6 now, maybe even getting the 7th one. Yep, getting it, and still managing to get out. So that Oracle was totally worth its money. Yeah, like I said, a little bit uncharacteristic mistake here by Koshkii, because that's just her absolute typical setup, having the Mothership Core back here with the pylons for Photon Overcharge, having a few Stalkers in her natural mineral line to be defended everywhere against this kind of Oracle harassment. But unfortunately this time, not, and Miyako managed to find a spot where she could deal tremendous damage. So again, Miyako going into the Phoenix style, and then right behind that into another Stargate and Fleet Beacon. So she wants to use the tactic that won her most of her games throughout this evening, even, we can say. So another Oracle coming in from the left-hand side, while we also have Phoenix harassment over to the right-hand side. Probably just wants to force this Mothership Core into Photon Overcharging before she moves in with the Oracle. There are Stalkers in place, but they are a little bit far away, so I guess Miyako will be able to get like 1, 2, 3 probe kills before finally Koshkii reacts, even getting a 4th one. Wow, really nice there from Miyako before moving out. Phoenixes have already become 4. Might even fly in a little bit later here to deal some more damage, but for now she's just satisfied with the damage she's dealt. In the meantime, we see Koshkii moving towards a ground-forced army that actually moves out right now with a Warp Prism, and this timing could hit Miyako underprepared, we have to say. Not unprepared, but underprepared. I mean, she has some Phoenixes around. She now sees the army moving. She might want to get down that Warp Prism. If she gets it, that would be huge. Ooh, just barely doesn't get it. Oh, but now, finally just manages to take it down. This just makes this push so much weaker. Wow, what an actually lucky incident, we have to say. Seeing that army moving across the map, being able to take down the Warp Prism as it was. So yeah, of course, this push is just so much weaker here. Koshkii still moving inside the main base. She has 2 Immortals, and nothing that Miyako has right now can actually deal with this kind of force. She can be really lucky that Koshkii doesn't have a Warp Prism with her, because that would be an instant GG. But even though it still might not be enough for Miyako here, Koshkii just hitting the perfect timing with her ground force attack. Well, maybe Miyako can just hold off for long enough in order to get out her carriers. We've seen her win off of one base, well, mostly one base, because there's a second one in the making, but mostly off of one base with just one carrier and a mothership. So let's see if these two carriers might actually just save her from losing straight away. I mean, this base is so oversaturated, it's so crazy, but it doesn't really matter. More and more units die. Finally, we have a carrier out. Carriers are already producing a few interceptors here. We don't really have that much anti-air, only a few stalkers, and this time around, Koshkii does not even bother trying to fight against these units, but rather warps out immediately, just recalls. Ooh, man, these interceptors have a long range. But finally, ooh, Koshkii, you have to move out more? Okay, finally just retreats with everything. So let's see her response. I mean, Miyako lost a lot of workers, I guess. Well, actually, she's only down to 30 to 39 of her opponent. She can just immediately transfer all of the unneeded workers up here to her third base. So she didn't really lose too much right now. Of course, it would be better for her to be on three bases now instead of two. And Koshkii already preparing a next push. She knows that she can't allow her opponent to build up the carrier fleet she's very afraid of. So she's just warping in more and more mass stalkers. These carriers alone, unprotected, will probably not be able to deal with these stalker force. Unfortunately, Koshkii does not have blink, so she can't really blink up. Carriers just moving backwards into the main base, into safety of the pylons, but the mothership core is down. New mothership core getting produced. It will have energy for one photon overcharge, but I think before that happens, actually most of the pylons will be taken down. Miyako just tries to stay safe at the back of her base, waits for one more carrier to arrive, and three carriers actually deal a lot of damage to all these stalkers. Stalkers really need to get close towards these carriers in order to take them down. One falls down, but again, she's standing right inside that pylon photon overcharge. Finally will be able not. She doesn't take it down. She really wants to get down these carriers here, but again, just taking so many shots from the photon overcharge. Still, it seems as if it just barely doesn't matter. Now we only have one carrier left. Has unfortunately not taken out that pylon over here, because that would have just empowered. Well, maybe no, it wouldn't have empowered this target over here, so it doesn't matter. GG. Miyako gives up, realizing she doesn't have anything left, and Koshkii takes the championship with a 4-3.